Heading out to go to the Elliots, so I'll be interviewing them. This is a beautiful, beautiful couple, and they've been married for 42 years, guys. 42 years. Okay, I'm gonna talk to them, and we're gonna hear all the juicy stuff that makes their marriage work. All right, so don't forget to hit the subscribe button and like, share, and just leave us a comment. All right, so follow us, and we'll see you in a minute. All right, so we're on our way. We're almost there. Almost there. I'm on my way to a couple's house, and they have volunteered to let me interview them. Still on the topic of relationship, right? They have been married for so many years, and we're gonna get into all the secrets, about what makes their relationship so lasting, and all the good and juicy stuff about their relationship. So that's where I'm going. So right now, guys, follow me, and you're going to hear how to really spice up your relationship and make it really nice. All right, so until a little bit, I'll see you. So just hang tight, and do remember to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, bye. Oh, by the way, my other crew is in the back. They're not in the back of the car, but they're traveling behind me. So I'm trying to drive with one hand holding my phone camera, just to give you this little bit of information. I know you like information, and I know you like to know people's business. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm gonna give you people's business, but it's good business though, right? So one love, and I'll catch you in a little bit later. Bye-bye. Hello everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, whatever hour of the day or night it is, whichever city you are, whichever world you are living. I say a very warm and pleasant hello to you. My name is Diana Wright, and of course, welcome to N-Vibes, your coolest hotspot on social media, brought to you courtesy of 16 Bars Multimedia, where they're always creating something new. I told you last week that I'll be having a very special guest. Rather, it's not just one, it's a couple. They are the Elliots, Eric and Earlis Elliott, and they will be talking to us about their lives. Oh my goodness, their personal lives, because guess what? They have been married for 42 long years, guys, 42 years. And I'm telling you, so now I'm going to poke my nose into their business, and I'm going to get all the juicy stuff that I'm going to tell you, so you can spice up your love life, because they are veterans in the marriage love business. All right, so in the meantime and in between time, stay tuned, and I'll be right back with you after these messages. Love has a way of taking control over your heart and soul. Like a blessing, it flows from above. Sweet when you fall in love. Anything for you to make you happy. That's when the loving is true. Everything I do it with you. Ain't nobody but when you fall in love with someone. It is the greatest feeling on earth. You would move a mountain to make it work. When you fall in love, yeah, fall in love. Well, thank you so very much, and welcome back again. I hope you if you're watching on your phone or you're watching on your laptop or wherever it is that you're watching on, just make sure that you're curled up somewhere all nice and comfy, because we're going to dig, and these people, this beautiful couple, they just tell you like it is. So don't waste any time. All right, just make sure that you are watching. All right, so 42 years of marriage, we would like to know the obstacles they overcame. We would like to know what love means to them. How do they handle love? How do they communicate? What are those good stuff? We would like to hear from them today. So, without further ado, Mr. and Mrs. Elliott, welcome to the Vibes Show. And how are you?
We are doing well.
Doing great.
Thanks for having us.
Okay,
Doing
great,
great,
great. It's my pleasure. All right, so we're just gonna jump right in it. By the way, Earlies, you're looking beautiful. You're looking beautiful. And you, Mr. Eric, you are a fine, handsome gentleman. And compliments to you both. And also congratulations for taking it 42 years into your beautiful marriage. You're just close together like all right, so we're on the subject of relationships, right? So you guys have been married for 42 years, correct? Mm-hmm. And seeing that you guys have been married for 42 years, am I right? Is it 42?
42
yes,
years.
42 years. Oh my goodness. You know, everybody wants to know. I myself want to know, how did you guys meet?
Well, you know what? We grew up together on the same street. His parents and my parents were friends.
Oh.
But then she left and came to the States. And
She broke your heart.
kinda.
We were too young. Stop it.
Well, I did like her.
You liked her?
She didn't like me though.
At what age did you guys meet? Did you, and earlier we were talking and you said that she's your childhood sweetheart. So did you guys used to play together or what? How did it all begin?
I used to play with his sister. And then he would come around and he liked to look at my legs. At that little age.
Let me see camera. I'm gonna roll the camera down on her legs. Let me see. Okay, we'll have that.
She knew that because I made a confession.
Oh my goodness. So it was the legs that caught your eyes.
Well,
At first.
that too, but she's a pretty girl.
Yes.
And shapely.
Ooh. Listen, this woman, I'm telling you, viewer, she's beautiful. You have to see her. She has nice legs. She has a beautiful figure. Yes, she's a mature woman, but she has a beautiful figure. Now, you need to roll the camera down so that we can see those beautiful legs, because when I came in the door, I saw Eric watching her legs. He was just staring on her legs. I saw you. Yes, I did. What age did you guys know that you were in love?
You know, we were in our young 20s, like 20. And I don't know if we were in love. We were in lust.
Lust.
At first.
Who was lusting?
She was.
He was.
I believe it was early. Something tells me.
Now, I will tell you why. Because when we were talking, when I went back to Jamaica, and I saw him, he was looking all right. And he kept looking at my lips.
Ooh.
So I said to him, well, do you want to kiss me?
Oh my God.
She did.
Ernest, are you that brazen?
Well, he didn't.
Were you that brazen?
Well, he was looking at my lips. I figured he wanted something.
How did you respond when she asked you that?
I jumped at the opportunity.
Oh my goodness.
Because she was right.
She was right. You wanted to kiss her.
Yeah.
I was that.
But a little bit shy.
Who was shy? You were.
I was.
He was.
But
Okay. She was a fighter.
Because you
That's
know what? He
correct,
was
yeah.
still living in Jamaica and I was living in the state.
Okay.
So, I was more open
Okay.
than he was. So, there was like a little culture difference because I learned this culture quickly.
When you went back to Jamaica after 8 years after, did you actually go with him on your mind? Did you say to yourself, brown skin, handsome boy who's always staring at me?
No. What happened was her brother came out first. Her brother and mom came out, and I saw a picture of her, and it was in a photo album. And I said, and I looked at him like, ooh, la la. And so then she used to wear these little tops. Tube tops.
Oh.
And so I asked her brother, George, if I could get the picture. He said, well, I'm not sure because it belongs to his mom. But it would lock the door of the house. And so George went through the window and stole the picture and gave it to me. And so I gave George a message to her to give her that she should write me.
Oh,
And
So what happened was my sister Lee and I got together. I said, "What's wrong with him? Want me to write him?" So we got together and said, "Let's do something juicy. Just something juicy."
Juicy?
Yes. A nice juicy letter with no intentions.
Did you remember what the contents were? Skip the little introduction. Tell me the juicy part. What some of the things?
I told him, like I was in school, looking good, but I had a boyfriend, but I didn't that.
but I found out eventually.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, so I just said, you look good. And, maybe we could meet sometime. Stuff like that.
Okay. So this handsome caramel and this beautiful chocolate darling with nice legs and beautiful succulent lips, got together on this day.
Hold it. Hold it. No.
Hold it.
I was tall, dark, and handsome.
Because I was not her
She was
first
not.
choice.
No, he was not your first choice.
No. I didn't meet the criteria.
Really? What were you looking for in a guy, in a boyfriend at that time? And at what age?
But first of all, is how he looks.
Okay.
And like I said, tall, dark, and handsome.
Okay.
So-
Those were the criteria first.
Okay.
So I had only one of the three.
So what made you throw that in the dumpster and pick this nice caramel, not so tall but not so short man?
Well, actually, really, what happened was James, that was the guy I was dating. We weren't the same faith,
Okay.
and that was important to me.
Okay.
And he was.
Okay.
Plus,
Lucky for me.
Looking for Okay.
so because James, what happened is I go to church on Saturday, and James go to church on Sunday. So what happened was every Saturday I wouldn't hear from him.
Oh.
He goes into hiding.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So your religion played a big part in your relationship, correct?
Absolutely.
Was she your first
Not only coming together, but also keeping us together.
keeping it together?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And needless for me to ask if she was your type of woman, because from ever since you've been staring at her legs, even now when I walked in here, I saw you staring at her legs. Even now when I walked in here, I saw you looking at her beautiful legs.
Did you see?
Yes,
It is true.
I saw you. So from the get-go, you fell in love with her. Was it love, or was it just, did you know, or when did you know that you wanted her to be your wife? When did you know?
Well, when I saw the picture, it took me back to when I used to see her as a small girl, and she had blossomed, and so I'm like, this person could make me a beautiful wife.
How many years apart when you were children, and then when she came to America and then came back to Jamaica? How many years apart? How many years did she?
I think it was maybe about, was it 8 years or something of that
Years.
nature? Yeah.
So all this time, 8 years, and all the time, Eric, what did you do with that time? Did you have a girlfriend, perhaps? Now tell the truth. Now she was gone.
I wasn't thinking about a relationship with her during those years. It wasn't until, because she's in the States, I'm in Jamaica, so it just didn't add up. And I never knew that I'd have the chance to go to the States. So I was concentrating on my life in Jamaica. But then when I saw the picture of her, and I'm
You
like,
dropped everything.
oh yeah. That's when I got interested again and asked her brother to write
Did
me.
you have a girlfriend at the time?
I did have a
Tell the truth now.
Yeah, I did have a girlfriend during some of the time before I met her. But once I started to correspond with her, everyone else was off the table.
Okay. How did it feel inside? This one is for you, Ernest, and then I'm asking. How did you feel inside when you fell in love with the moment you knew this was the man? How did it make your heart feel?
Well, like I said, I had a boyfriend. And after I met, see him, after I saw him again, he did look good.
Well, I had muscles and little beard and...
Yes, so I came back and I told James, I met someone again. And he said, oh, it's okay, one of those things, you get over it. So at one point, I had both of them. But I was right in one while I was,
She was trying to play me, but guess what?
You played her out!
The joke's on her.
The joke's on her because you won, right?
I won.
You won.
and so how I felt good because his parents knew my parents. It wasn't someone I really had to get to know in depth. So I felt good.
Okay. Okay.
And for me, when I saw her again and we started corresponding and then the relationship started to build, she was my dream girl. So I had in my mind the girl I would like to marry, and she fit the bill then some. So I was super excited.
Wow. Well, when you got to, I know you guys grew up together, but in the adulthood life, because things change. You make different friends, and you also meet different friends, and then she lived in America for a while. So when she came back into your life, the things that made you loved her or made you admired her at first, did it change drastically because she lived in another country, or was she the same beautiful Earlys on the inside that you knew?
So she was, but of course there were some cultural differences that I had to overcome. She was used to, well, for one, money.
Money?
Yeah, money.
Money!
Yeah, that's right. She had this thing about putting all the money together, and as a Jamaican man, I felt like I should have control of my own money.
Oh.
And so we had discussions about that. Who would control the money? Who would put it together? How would that go? So some things like that. Plus there were some differences in diet. So, she liked some of the American dishes. I was still in the Jamaican mode, wanting the Jamaican food. And so we had to come to some agreement. But I also started liking and trying other things. For example, when I first came to the States, I never liked pizza.
Okay.
And so, after a
For
while...
the love of Ernest.
Yeah.
My God, the power of a woman, I'm telling you.
Yeah, plus when I first came to the States, Ernest was not the best cook. So
That is true.
Really? Tell me about it.
She had older sisters, and they were the ones who were in the kitchen and learned to cook. So it wasn't until after we got married and I was in the States that she actually learned to cook.
Wow.
And I mean, now she's a great cook.
Did you teach her? Did you
No, I couldn't cook either.
Cook?
I still can't. I make a few
Shame
things.
on you. Shame
I know.
on you. You're in Jamaica.
When I retire, I will.
You learn.
I will learn. I'll be in the kitchen with her, and she'll teach me.
Okay.
But she's a great cook.
She's a great cook now.
Now.
Oh, I had to learn the hard way. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So when the love started blooming,
Yes.
right? What are some of the challenges that you guys met? Because it seemed that if you had for a period a long distance relationship, because she had to come back to the States, right? And you were still living in Jamaica. What are some of the challenges that you guys came across during that period?
We were separated for about a year and 2 months before he came to the States. So some of the challenges were friendship, different friendship we had with people, and saying that, he's in Jamaica and I'm here. Maybe I want to do some things that I ought not to do.
Okay. 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 What were your challenges?
I had to write her a letter every
Week.
week. No,
Oh my
it was,
goodness.
It was more than that.
Did you make that request?
No. Actually, she wanted me to write her. My recollection is that she wanted 3 letters a week.
You know what?
And sometimes we remember things differently.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I was just
But
going to say.
I had to write her very often. The other thing I had to do was call her, and I did not have a phone.
Because that's the time you had to go to the call box and put the coins in
Exactly.
it.
Yes.
Operator.
And sometimes I would go to the call box, and I would put the money in, and the operator would be saying, "Now put the money in." I'm like, the money's already in. It's a bunch of change.
Oh my
That was before cell phone.
Yeah, before a cell phone. Yeah. So.
So Tell me, any one of you can answer this. How did it feel to come from there, childhood? You saw her in the flower of her youth, and she also saw you in the flower of your youth, and 2 children later, migration, and 42 years in the marriage. How does it feel for you? What does it mean to you to have come at this juncture in your life?
I think it's a great accomplishment because we know that a lot of marriages don't last these days, and so each milestone, you make it to 5 years, you make it to double digits, 10 years, then you get 15, 25. I remember we celebrated our 25th wedding anniversary, and to make it up to 42 is just an amazing result based on the way marriages go now.
Oh, yes. My name is Diana Wright, and we are speaking with 2 very special guests here on the Vibes Show. They're Mr. and Mrs. Elliott, and they have been married for 42 years, all right? So we have lots and lots of things to talk about and lots more questions and answers to get for you here. For you to like, share, and do subscribe to our program. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with you after these messages.
Love has a way of taking control over your heart and soul. Like a blessing, it flows from above. Sweet when you fall in love. Anything for you to make you happy. That's when the loving is true. Everything I do it with you. Ain't nobody but when you fall in love with someone. It is a great.
So this question is for you, Eric. Tell us, how did you deal with your career, fatherhood, and also the temptations that you face from other women out there? How did you deal with that?
I started college like I said, in 1980, but we had a son, Mark, in 1982.
Okay.
And I wanted to make sure that I was able to provide for my wife and for my son. We were planning to have more children. As a matter of fact, when we first started talking about kids, we said 4. After we get married, we said 3. And then, we had Mark first and then Erica in 1985. And after that, we agreed that we would stay with 2. She actually wanted a third one.
But he said there's nothing left. We got grown up boy, there's nothing left. So.
Right. So my focus then was in college was on finishing so I could provide for my family. And yes, they were nice looking girls, but of course I had the best at home, so I was satisfied.
Okay. Now, Ernest, how do you tame some of these men out there who would try to make conversations with you?
Okay, well, you know what? When a guy sees a woman and you notice that they're looking at you, it makes you feel good that somebody else, look at
Someone please help her.
But, you may put a little more, strength in your step.
Oh yeah, like one day we were at church, and there was some guys outside, and that extra strut, she stepped out of her shoes.
That is true.
So it is true that she.
What was in your mind?
But the thing is, I didn't cross the line.
Awesome. But when you do it, do you do it to say, Early still got it, or do you do it to say, look at what Eric's got, boy. Look at what.
Well, the truth be told, it's like, hey girl, you still got it.
Okay.
But it wasn't to make him. He knows that I'm like that, but he understands that. It's like sometimes he say, you see the person, look, I said, who? And I say like, who?
Awesome. All right, tell me, for couples out there who have been married like for 2 years, 3 years, and are struggling to maintain their relationship, but before I get to that, what is keeping you guys together? Is it the commitment that you made in marriage, one? Or is it the love between both of you, or a combination of both?
I think it's a combination of both. You know, we made a commitment, but a lot of times a commitment is not enough. There's a love that we have for each other, looking out for each other, caring about each other, and making sure each other is okay. And now that we're older, we want to make sure that we take care of each other and make sure each one is okay. You know, as you get older, you never know what could happen, and so we made a commitment that we'll be there for each other.
But you know, I just wanted to tell, like I told my daughter, I said to her, you know, it wasn't always peaches and cream. We had challenges, you know, and
What were some of those challenges, Ernest? People would like to know.
well, Eric was in school, and I was taking care of the kids, and sometimes we just didn't understand each other. He was tired, working, going to school. I'm working, taking care of the kids. Sometimes he'd be working late, and I felt like the responsibility was mine, and so that was very hard to deal with.
Yeah, and it is true that that was a difficult period of time because I was also working while I was going to college, and so I had very little time. And then on top of that, our son Mark, as I said before, was born in '82, and so we agreed we would not have any more children until after I was finished with college. So that's why I finished undergraduate in '84, and Erica was born in '85. So
Oh, you seem like a very, organized man, and you both, he said, okay, 2 children, you had planned for 4, but he said 2, and you just compromised, and did you feel like you lost anything by not having 4? Because
Not 4, 3.
So we started talking initially. We had talked about 4 children. When we got married, we agreed on 3.
Okay.
But then after we had the boy and the girl, I had figured, well, that's good enough.
Okay.
But she wanted the 3rd one, and I said we'd go for the 3rd. She would have, and we had agreed too that if Erica was a boy, so the 1st and 2nd was boy, we would do the 3rd, and then that would be it.
Okay.
That'd be it. But I think one of the things that help us to maintain a relationship is not just concentrating on each other, but having God in our life.
Awesome.
And so, we would have our worship with the kids, we'll have our own family worship, and so we've got in the mix. And we credit us being together all these years, not because of only the love we have for each other, but the fact that we had God in our lives, and He was able to take us through some of the tough times.
Awesome.
Yeah, and the thing is, I think with young people, they are not willing to endure.
Endurance.
Yeah, because they're more self-sufficient now. And, it's like they don't need this, they don't need that. And sometimes Erica and I, we have our differences in terms of, we may have a disagreement, and I'm the type who, I want it to be resolved right here and now. Oh, not him. He just keep quiet. Or he said, we'll talk about it tomorrow. Oh, that used to drive me crazy. Oh.
You want to talk about it now?
Yes.
And how did that make you feel? Did you feel like she was kind of like imposing on your manhood, on your maleness, because she wants to talk about it now?
Not on my manhood, but I know that the risk of doing that is when you are upset or angry, it's best to calm down before you have a conversation, because sometimes you end up saying things you don't mean. And so I wanted to do it when things were calm and we could think rationally.
You could think rationally.
That is true. No, she's right, because she has a great knack of being able to be very rational, even more rational than when she's mad. She's more rational than when she's not.
Wow.
And it's the reverse for me, because when I'm upset, I can't think right. And so she would like to continue the conversation, and I'm like, no, it's best not to, because I'm going to say things that I don't mean. So I'm trying to protect the relationship by waiting until things are calmed down.
Okay. Sorry. Did you wait for him to calm down, or did you get what you wanted?
Sometimes.
More. I would like to.
She wants it right away.
I want it right away.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then also, sometimes we have friends that we could not agree on. There's some friends that they don't mean you well. So I'll say, I don't think this person is a good friend, or he may say that person is not. And sometimes, we disagree on stuff like that.
Okay.
But I have to admit, she's very perceptive in figuring people out faster than I can. I give more benefit of the doubt, and she's often said to me that individual, I had this boss at work at one time that I thought was a friend, and she would say, no, it's not your friend, and eventually I found out that he's not. So she's very perceptive that way. But to get back to your question concerning some of the things that helps us in a relationship, or younger people in their relationship, one of the big things for us is communicating. To make sure that we can sit down, we communicate, we talk about things during our family worship, which we've always had, as I mentioned before, continue to have, and it's a way for us to talk about things and to talk with God, and God being a part of a relationship, but then also just to talk about anything, and communication is key.
Awesome. And that's something I would tell people, younger people growing up. It is true, communication, but we didn't start communicating. At first that well. It grows.
It grows.
I just love it on me, I can't tear it apart. This is the real thing, you know the real thing. I just love it on me, I can't tear it apart. This is the real thing, you know the real thing. Love is a fountain, keeps on flowing, down like a mountain, and it keeps on growing. 2 plus me, and the love is showing. Push up your hand in the air and make the love light shine. I just love it.
Were there any moments that you both, felt like throwing in the towel?
There were struggles along the way, and you would think that maybe if we go our separate ways, it'd be better. But I'm glad we didn't over the years.
Yeah.
We've learned a lot, and a big learning for us is the fact that what was important to us 5 or 10 years into the marriage wasn't as important 15 and 20 years into the marriage.
Yeah.
I don't know why it is in marriage, as soon as things get a little bit rocky, one of the things you consider is maybe it's best that we go apart. But then we're glad we didn't listen to our foolish selves then, and that we're together now, because I'm still madly in love with her.
Wow, give her a kiss!
But I have to give you this joke. When we had a challenge, so after the kids were born, I said, you know what? I think we should just divorce. And we were talking about it calmly, and he said, but I will come and visit you though. I said, what? What do you mean you come and visit me? He said, we would come and we would, do our stuff, and then go. I said, and do what? and then do, I said, and do what? He said, we would still,
Do the
bang around and then do the bad thing. Oh. That's funny. You remember that conversation?
I did. It is true. It's true.
It's like, what?
You didn't want to lose that, right?
No. Actually, maybe I just didn't want to lose her. But yeah. So that would be the thing to hold on to.
Hold on to.
Yeah.
And then another time we were having some challenges, and we were just going at it, and to the point where we just bust out laughing. We just started laughing because we were saying things that did not even make sense at the point.
Oh my goodness.
Do you remember that one, too?
No.
You don't?
No.
You should have.
Oh my goodness.
So I remember,
She always remember more than I do.
and we just started laughing.
Yeah.
Because after a while, nothing we're saying made sense.
It's just in the heat of the moment kind of
Right.
situation.
Yeah, but I'm glad that it's good when you can work out some of the wrinkles.
Yes.
And no one should go into marriage because we're two imperfect people.
Right.
And men think differently from women, because sometimes Eric is thinking something and I'm going, what?
It's true.
And and sometimes he can't understand, where did that come from?
Oh my.
So the thing is, we have to respect that we're different and find what's in commonality that we have and work on that.
And even though we're very, very different, we're very different personality-wise, and if you take us individually, you would think that we could not be together.
Wow.
Because that's how different we are. However, when it comes to the basic principles of marriage, that we are the same.